So I'm back at the cabins that I come out to for my ceremonies uh, once every 6 months or so. Last time I was here I had a shaved head, so however long it takes to grow my hair this long is how long it's been since I've come down here. Today is a very interesting and special day because in my Taoist philosophy, my Taoist reading, today would be my spiritual year. Well, I'm in my spiritual year right now. It's my spiritual month, and it's also my spiritual day. The essence of what that means is that that energy is amplified today. My feeling of connectivity to life, to things, to all things, and I really have been feeling that like lately. And I've planned it on this day because I thought it would be a really interesting time to do a mushroom ceremony and go inwards. So I planned this about a month and a half ago, and my intention for this ceremony is honestly next steps. Like what is next for me? What is next for me in my own personal evolution? I've been having a lot of moments of just, there's a lot that I'm doing that's on the right track, and it feels right. It feels in attunement with like my intuition. But there's certain things that I have a deep knowing that it's just wasting time, and it's coming from fear. Things like running my business, one of my businesses, which is a painting company, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that business, but I maybe spending too much time on that and distracting myself from some of the more important work that I'm supposed to be doing, and avoiding my own personal evolution. It's honestly what I feel. I don't know what exactly it is, but it's like I feel like there's a level of avoidance that I'm not stepping into, and the world is just changing so much, and there's a lot of excitement to that change because I think I believe in just evolution, and just like everything is happening with purpose, and it doesn't just happen by accident. And just the nature of nature is that it's always trying to improve and evolve to a new layer of consciousness, and in some way that's what's happening on the planet for all of us in our own unique ways. And yeah, I've been feeling a lot. It's really weird because I very rarely get anxiety either, like never almost, and I've been feeling anxiety like probably the strongest that I've ever felt it the last probably 3 days now, feeling levels of it. And when I really tune into it and just like allow it to arise, like it can be quite strong, and I feel like it affects your breathing, I guess. Yeah, like a tightness in the chest is kind of what it is. So I'm feeling called to go quite deep this evening. Ceremony starts in about an hour from now, so usually when the sun goes down is when it's time to go in. And so I've just prepared everything. I've got all my foods prepared. Everything is ready to go. Candles, fires ready to go. So I'm gonna have about an hour right now of silent time before I ingest. And I've got a beautiful playlist which I'm gonna do for the first hour or so. And then I'm gonna just do some silent time, meditation and silent time. And last time I was out here, I got really connected to the breath. Just breath work really started to arise in my life through the experience I was having. I did pretty high dose last time I came down here, and it was really intense. And I found that it regressed me and pushed me into the breath, just like as a safety measure, basically. Like it's like there's safety in the fundamentals, like the foundations, which is the air. It's the breath, which is the fuel for everything. And that was very powerful. So if it goes into that intensity tonight, and then I know where I'll be trying to focus and trying to bring my awareness, just bring it into the breath and breathing deeply. So I have no idea what's in store for today, but part of it does feel like the general intention is just next steps. What are the next steps in my own personal evolution? I feel ready, I feel scared, and I'm feeling that little bit of anxiety, so hopefully I'll get to explore that a bit further. And I'll do another log in the morning to try and unpack whatever arises for me. Yeah. Silent time. So just finished, packed up, woke up this morning, packed up, and here we are. So that was a very wild and very beautiful experience I had last night. For starters, my girlfriend Lish gave me just a playlist that she had been intending to use for a mushroom ceremony, and blew me away. Like, just delicious poetry for the soul. Like, I was tuned like a moth to a light, just tuned in to the subtleties of every note. And I will be definitely using those tracks. Like, it's some of the most beautiful music I've ever heard in the way that I heard it because of the state I was in. But I literally was sitting there, jaw dropped, like how could I not have known about this? How am I not paying attention to this beauty, this poetry? I would say that the central theme of last night was, I guess, concentration. Like, I need to practice and get stronger in focus and concentration, and I honestly think many of us need to. And I just really last night observed how I'll tell you about all the good things that were last night after, but I struggle with focus and concentration, and I think this is my whole life, but it's the conditioning, and I noticed it first in the body. After I did about a 2-hour meditation, I did get up, and I was able to sit for the first 2 hours, which is good. But once I did get up, I noticed how my body, which felt like this, it's like it's doing its own thing. It's programmed and conditioned by an environment, and many of us live in cities, right? And so there's a frantic energy, and the body is just a piece of nature that's conditioned and programmed. And my body, I can tell there's a lot of underlying conditioning that just makes it frantic. And I was watching it, and I was really speaking to the body, and I'm like, just calm, take it slower. Like, just frantic is just frantic, and it's filling the body with anxiety, which then affects the mind, and then the mind gets frantic. And I think this is that concentration and the focal point that and I've said it so many times to myself, and I've said it to other people all the time, but it's the inability to focus on what matters, and what matters is love. It's love, and the abundance energy of just concentration on the expansive energy of love, which is the seed of creation. It's like there's this world that we live in, and like there's this world within us, and it gets distracted so easily. And I think just the way our world is we're conditioning, and through social media and through the way the environment is, we are conditioning ourselves to live distracted lives. And these distractions are not expansive energies all the time, most of the time. They're very contraction-oriented energies, fear-based energies. And I was watching my body, just the body, not even talking about the mind, just watching the conditioning of my body, how it moves, and there's work to do. It needs to calm down, and then that centers the mind so that I can actually focus and concentrate on things that are important, like love and gratitude and beauty and pull up some notes. But that was a big focal point, is just returning to making love the center of all the things that I do. I was losing that, I think, a little bit this year, and I've been trying to move away from judgment, which is it's just opinions and thoughts, and just like, this is how things should be, and not being okay with how things are, how the universe works, how the world works, it's a resistance energy, and there's no need. You're just creating these traumas within your body, and that's what I've been doing, I think, a little bit this year, is non-acceptance and just rushing around trying to control things. I don't need to do that. I need to learn to concentrate on love. And I think that is the great spiritual journey. It's the great... That's what I think many of the spiritual people are doing. They're learning to concentrate on expansion within themselves. They're not doing it through action in the way that you typically would think, where you go out into the world and you do a bunch of stuff. They're focusing in on what's already there within everything, which is this creative energy, this creation, expansion energy. And I'm rambling, but those are some of the things I've observed in the ceremony. But my body, the anxiety, its conditioning to just want to just do things and panicking around, basically. So I want to sit more. I need to practice sitting more. Moving away from agendas, like ideas like trying to get ahead don't make any sense for the most part. Like, trying to get ahead of what? You need to really go back to the root of what you think you're doing, and there's nothing to get ahead of. You're already here, fully, in every moment, and that's really what you have, is you have these moments, and every single one, even the moment I'm having right now, speaking and expressing what happened last night, like, this itself is a moment, and it's not about some future outcome. Like, you're here now, and I'm here now. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, and that brings me to the next thing that I really experienced last night, which was one of the messages that came up through my intuition, was just moving away from knowing, not trying to get it all figured out through the intellect, trying to know. And why I think that's so important, and why I think it has arisen for me. Like, what did I write? I wrote, move away from knowing. And I think it's the conceptual structure. When you think you know everything, it really barricades you in. You set up all these barriers, like, this is how this is how that is, this is who I am, this is what the world's all about, this is how the universe works. Like, you really barricade in the ability to dream and to be curious, because once you've decided and come to conclusions, that's it. You've decided, you've made a conclusion, and now there's no room left for that playful curiosity of, like, what is all this? Like, who am I? where do we come from? And that one actually last night was a huge theme for me. It was I actually went into like a mantra, and I was breathing really hard, and I was just like, I don't know who I am. 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 And it was like I was like trying to shake out this thing where I'm so certain about who I am, and being like I have to know all this stuff. And as I did that, it was like shaking out of me all these other things, these knowings, and it really opened, it expanded up this curiosity of like, who am I? Like, what is this place? This place that we're in? Like, look how divine it is. Look how everything is just energy working. It's like, so this really playful energy came in through me, and I actually laughed probably harder than I have laughed in 2 years. I couldn't stop laughing, like almost to the point that it was getting painful, because I was like, we're all rushing around as if we know what's going on, like, and everyone's trying to like got charts, and everyone's got graphs, and like, you know, cryptocurrencies and all these other things that I've put so much attention on. It's like, all that stuff seems like such a distraction once you remember the vibration of love. Like, all that stuff is chasing, or essentially you're like chasing, oh, we're gonna get there one day, we're gonna get there somehow, someday, like it's gonna go up and things are gonna get better, and it's already, you're missing it. There's the moment you have right in front of you, and there's this expansion. You can find it, you can look right into even your own heart energy, just you can feel the heart energy. And I always do these mushroom ceremonies, and I always return to the heart energy. It's this beautiful organism that's just crafted by evolution, by nature, literally a mystery of the universe, like one of the most incredible things. And like how little attention I give that, meanwhile I'll spend 20 minutes a day looking at like financial charts. Like, how does that get more priority over my heart energy? Like, that is way more important. But this has to do with the focus, not focusing and concentrating on what matters about life, like the beauty. And as I went through that exercise of going deeper into the not knowing, it really also brought up this question of just like, who knows? Like, where do we come from came up, the question. And I was like looking out at the stars, and it's just like the universe is literally like shining down on you. The writing's printed on the wall, and I'm looking out at the universe, and I'm just like, where do we come from? Like, we're here. I'm here right now in this moment, and I'm just here. I don't know how I'm here, and like, that's part of the predicament. Like, how come I don't know this? Like, in the way, like, yeah, who created all this? Who created all this? And I didn't get very far with it, but what I did get is to open up that curiosity, that deep wilderness of like, whoa, look at how majestic this is. Like even something as simple, like I'm at a little pond, lagoon, but it's like, it's beautiful. Like, it's just growing all around you and changing. And some of my takeaways, I want to go deeper into music, explore the exquisite poetry, the nature of music in more detail, and focus more attention on that expansion, because it's just so beautiful. And I love dancing and the expression. Like, I did some dancing and movement and letting my body just tune into that vibration. Like, tune in, like you're tuning a guitar, just letting the waves of energy move through me. It's so good. And I need to focus more on that, and just I need to get better, less distractions. Simplify. The other part that was really freeing, I found, is that like realizing that I wrote, one of the last things I wrote down was less is more. And just finding the freedom in having less, requiring less to secure yourself, gives you the freedom to explore. Like, I'm taken care of. Like, what do you really need? Water, air. Like, even walking around last night, I had no shirt. I actually was walking around naked a little bit, and just like, you know, it's cold. It's a bit cold. And I'm like, yeah, but my body will deal with it. Like, your body can deal with, your body is absolute machine of resilience. Like, it can deal with so much if you, especially if you tune the mind with it. Like, the body's like, I'm cold, and your mind is just like, it's fine. You'll adapt. You'll adapt, no problem. And that's what was, my mind was saying. I'm like, yeah, what, there's not as much to worry about as you think there is. And you'll just adapt. Like, what do you need? You don't need much. It's when you start to anchor into all your needs that you become stuck and fearful, because you're like, well, I need this, I need this, I need that, I need that, I need all this stuff to secure my personality, to secure my, who I think I am, to secure my ego and my presentation and my identity. You don't need to do any of that. Like, you're a free agent. You are a free agent to just explore all that life has to offer, all the emotions, the fear, the love, and it's these, just explore all of it. And I'm a free agent. You're a free agent if you're watching this video. If you've made it to watching my rambling here. Put love at the center of all that you do.